When I got the script, I knew a lot about Bruce's work, and I was really pleased to hear that they had this script that he wrote, and they wanted me to to take a look at it, and the script was marvelous. He's such a beautiful writer. Ross! Bruce's writing and some of the scenes that were cut out were really magical scenes. For example, there was a scene that we never shot when we were up in Eureka shooting the stuff on the boat and the pier over there. We were also going to shoot up in that area, I think it's that area, but close by, a scene where romantic montage where I would teach Uma how to drive, but in the beach, in the dunes. And she could experience the sensation of driving, but there's nobody around, it's just sand dunes. And there was a very, like in the sunset, imagine Connie would have a field day with that stuff. And they cut that out, and that was very upsetting. The first step into the relationship was, from my point of view, was out of complete, respect and admiration. I known his work, and I knew I was excited about, working with him. So I think what first happened is I told him that, and I gave him a big hug, and that was it. Let's go. And then we just hung around a lot, during the film. We would go have dinner, and we understand as actors that we can use our time together to actually explore the relationship. You as your character, me as my character, in a way. That's like an underlying thing. We're rehearsing without rehearsing lines or anything, but we're, setting the dynamic almost of the relationship. I remember we had this thing about the clicking and picking,
You can't stop it, can you?
And at one point in the movie, he says to me, we're at a bar, right? And I'm kind of obsessed. I'm going in my, spinning out, and he's going, have a fucking drink already, will you? You're driving me crazy.
You would have discussed it with me, maybe would have gone
John,
some.
stop it.
I never heard about this sailor theory before. You might have that one little thing I need in
Have
his
a
file.
fucking lemonade or something. Let it go.
I saw a documentary on Benny Moré, very famous Cuban singer, most popular Cuban singer, who died of cirrhosis of the liver. His doctor at the end of his life, he said, you cannot drink at all. And so in the documentary, his cousin was saying that he would go like this, he would take the alcohol and he'd put it on his hands like that. And then he'd go like this, and then he'd go, and that would be the way he would feel the buzz of the alcohol. I remember seeing that a long time ago, and then in the movie, we're at the bar, and it was one of those things that was, he goes, have a fucking drink or whatever, and they poured a shot, and I had that image in my head,
I have a class, I'm late.
She just became that person, She was just so into space, you really sensed her. And that was amazing, her work in the movie, And she was a great partner to have. And, we had met before, during when she got cast. And so we were able to sort of go into it already with some relationship in terms of, talking about the script, stuff like that. But she was just so beautifully cast, and she did such an amazing piece of work, to play blind in a thriller like that, where there's also going to have to be movement and, going down hallways and, like Johnny Malkovich, you get that chance to act with John Malkovich. It's such a beautiful thing. It's a sublime moment.
You don't mind if I jump around a little bit this morning, just while I'm easing my way into this, do you?
You're asking the questions.
You had an argument with Ross, assaulted one of the officers, right?
I wouldn't use the word assault.
He was making believe that he had a really bad cold, and he was kind of talking through his nose, and I went like, oh my God, it was brilliant.
Maybe he thought you were making it up, because you wanted to be top cop. Isn't that why you went running up that garbage dump? So everyone could stand in awe of top cop?
He came in, ready to go, and I think we shot all the scenes like one day,
This guy's got a 12-gauge Winchester up your nose, and he's drunk, and you're dizzy, and your eyes full of blood, and you ain't thinking good, and you're seeing worse, and wow, it just went off.
Kathy Baker, she's an extraordinary actress. I mean, like, as good as it comes. I feel that I've had the blessing to know her and to get her energy. She's warm-hearted and just a consummate, sublime actress.
Oh, look at you! God, you look good.
You're Russian free pizzas.
Good, you look good. I'm not going to give him pizza. I haven't seen him in a year.
The idea that you had these two characters who had been a big part of my life, and the way Kathy loved me in the movie showed the amount of history we had, to the point where this crazy investigation that I'm obsessed with drags her husband into a situation where it costs him his life.
Don't cry, darling. He was a big old cop. He didn't like tears.
Marge.
Don't. Don't.
I remember one of my most beautiful things that I had with Kathy. In that scene where I come in, she tries to go upstairs, and I just had an impulse, and I grabbed her, and I just hold her like, you know, and it's like, there's nothing to be said, you know. She's amazing.
Don't let me go. Let me go. Oh, let me go. Let me go.
The unfortunate, and that's all the positive, the unfortunate side that there was a lot of issues with the studio and during the production and then after the production. People were getting fired, pages were taken out of script. Right, like 2 weeks before we started, they took things out. As we started shooting, they cut other scenes that we could talk about, all for like budgetary thing, and perhaps they were trying to make a movie cheaper, you know, the studio, but they had a script that deserved a healthier number of days, which means a little bit more budget, you know. It's really just the days that we're trying to take out. I'm here every day. This is nothing's not going slow here. You just have crammed a lot of movie into a short number of days. And, you know, now you're scrambling to cut script and stuff to try to meet. It just deserved, you know, maybe another weeks of filming compared to I forget what and I think that was the essence of it. It was, we needed more days to shoot this extraordinary, I think, script, you know, which was dense and psychological. The actual ending of the movie, which we were looking at the script that they sent over, Kathy Baker's character with the wig, you know, that was a great, great surprise. And the audience, when the movie was tested, was really into that. But in the original one, I would come, you know, and he's up again, you know, he's got the thing, he had a bulletproof vest, and he comes out of shock, and now the audience going like, oh, shit. And then sort of the protagonist saves the day kind of thing, which is also traditional.
Is it dark yet?
The positive memories of doing the movie outweigh that, you know, especially as you get older. I went through that whole passionate thing trying to defend the film. It took a lot out of me. So when any things like that happen, there's always a little hole in your heart. A little hole there. It's a hole. It's there as part of your existence. You know who you are, what your journey has been, and you go like, oh, okay. But the experience, the movie's beautiful, and you know the people. I mean, to me, it was all that's positive. But I just wish they would have trusted Bruce and his original ideas that were taken out, and trusted him with the movie. Francis Coppola said to me once, he goes, you really measure a movie like 25 years after it's made. That's when you go back and look at the movie and then just measure it then, you know. And I think Jennifer, like you said, holds up that way. So I'm very proud of that. I know that cinematically, and the stuff was in it. And so I'm proud of that, you know.